Life Care Medical Center is a nonprofit hospital located in northern Minnesota. We have 5 different campuses throughout Roseau County, so people can have access wherever they're located or wherever they may be traveling to.
When we started walking the campus, I realized right away PDK would be a solution for them. Knowing that they have multiple buildings within a 30-mile range, I knew that this would be a great cloud-managed system for them.
Initially, when we first installed PDK, we were handling 8 doors over at our Warroad Wellness Center. Then from there it grew, and we replaced our system that we had here at the hospital with PDK. The nice transition there was we didn't have to replace all the readers. We were able to just put PDK in and start rolling it out.
Feeling safe as a patient is part of your entire patient experience. Knowing that our entire facility can be locked down within a matter of seconds really means a lot to us as far as coming to work every day and feeling safe and secure. For you as a patient yourself, it really is critical that you feel that security, that safety net when you are in our hospital.
The groups feature in PDK was actually really nice. We were able to tie it back in with our Azure Active Directory, and from there we were able to assign privileges or access based on a person's role. So then we could better control who has access to what areas of the building.
When they can pull up a mobile app and have the same platform to be able to add, delete users, to be able to control that space and make it safe on a fly, it's the perfect scenario.
No matter where we are around the building, we can just use our badge to get in different areas, and some areas we can't because we don't have access. But again, that goes back to really how easy it is to use the software and be able to give access to other people.
The integration between PDK and OpenEye has been great. It helps us so that we can monitor door logs and tie those back to a camera event, so it's much easier for us to see, hey, this is when an incident occurred, here's the footage of it, so then we have kind of that full view.
It was really exciting to me to be able to help a medical center like Life Care to secure that facility, because I have a lot of friends and family that utilize these services. So it meant the world to me to help that security level and bring it to today's capabilities.
Positive experiences build trust. And when those patients are talking to others, whether it's their family members or their other community members, it really helps strengthen our reputation and really shows them how safety and care really go hand in hand.
Let's try to make this a little bit easier. Try the PDK Access app. The PDK Access app makes opening doors easier than it's ever been while still delivering the same added security that access control provides. Download it today. Here's my phone. Hey, I need my phone back. Hey, I need my phone back.
At PDK, we believe that we are better together with integration partners. That's why we partner with Resideo for intrusion detection and automation. Let's take a quick look at how the integration works and how it can add value to your PDK installation. Resideo is a platform that offers top-of-the-line security solutions to provide a cohesive intrusion detection and alarm platform. The Resideo Total Connect integration allows users to disarm alarm panels through PDK with a physical or digital credential and syncs select people created in PDK.io to the Total Connect 2.0 user database. To perform this integration, open the Resideo integration in the Integrations tab of PDK.io and enable it. Then log into your Total Connect account, where you will be prompted to select the panel that will be connected. Simply map the appropriate Resideo location, Resideo partition, PDK partition, and disarming devices. Optionally, you can sync pins to your Resideo user codes. Once finished, simply return to pdk.io and your integration will be completed. Moving forward, you can use the designated disarming device to disarm your Resideo alarm panel. Additionally, you will have new custom fields in every pdk.io user's profile that allow you to sync user types and authority levels directly to Resideo Total Connect. Pretty easy, right? With a simplified integration and user experience, this alarm integration is an easy way to elevate a range of applications to be more secure and automated. Reach out to your PDK sales representative today to learn more. PDK is introducing a newly revamped range test software. Gone are the days of downloading software to your PC. Instead, you can now perform a WiMAC range test from any Chromium-based browser. Setup is easy. Begin by purchasing a range test kit from PDK's team. This will include a coordinator, which will act as an artificial cloud node. It will also include a repeater, used to determine signal strength from the cloud node to the controller. Plug the coordinator into your computer using the included cabling. This will power the device on and establish a USB connection to the computer. Go to your favorite Chromium browser and navigate to wimac-tool.pdk.io. Note that there are two buttons, Connect and Read. Begin by selecting Connect and wait for the system to populate the page with the coordinator's PAN ID, identifier, and MAC address. At this point, bring the repeater online by plugging it into the included battery pack. Once powered up, allow 10 to 20 seconds for the repeater to connect to the coordinator and use the Read button to populate the repeater's MAC address. Update the status from pending to ready. Select Start Test under the Range Testing tab. Once initiated, simply put the repeater where you intend to put the cloud node and take your laptop with you to the intended location for your controller. You will continue to see live results of the signal strength for the duration of the test until the Stop Test button is pressed. You can view the logs of your session at the bottom of the page under the Logs tab if necessary. Signal strength will be denoted by a color sequence and radio signal strength number. For general purposes, anything green or yellow is acceptable, and anything red is unacceptable. That's all there is to it. The updated range test process reflects PDK's commitment to simplicity and user-friendliness. If you have any questions, reach out to your sales representative at sales@ProdataKey.com or 801-317-8802.
My name is Marilyn Mayer. I am the Mayer trainer. Everybody calls me Mayor. I've been involved with Trainer Barrow in almost every aspect for over 50 years. This is my home. I want my home to be safe. I want the residents to feel safe. Being the mayor, I am in charge of the police. I'm a proactive person instead of reactive. What if somebody was to ambush them if they're bringing in a prisoner or taking out a prisoner? That's how my mind worked. So it was very important for me and to have the police station all enclosed.
Last year, we were able to move into this brand new facility, which is amazing. There's a lot of things we did not have that we needed that we have here. We really had no access control there. Everything was done by keys. Keys were lost quite frequently. So it was an old way of doing things to have everybody have a belt load of keys to try to get in certain doors. And it was hard to restrict people because you had to have different keys that give guys that could only go in one room. So some guys had a lot of keys, some guys didn't, and this system took care of all that.
Officer safety is something that people don't realize that they're at risk every time they enter or exit their building. Well, with door access and with PDK, it gives them the feeling that they are secure and that they're going to be secure. PDK, unlike other systems, allow you to partition out a location. So basically, partitioning out the location allows you to separate the building and or buildings or doors or groups of doors, depending on what you need to do with it. In this current scenario, we have a police department that is connected to a township building. They all work as one team, but the access needs to be limited. The administrative side can't come over and interact with the police side unless they're specifically given access. And PDK allows you to lock that access down to a single door, doors, time, date, whatever you want to lock it down to. It's specifically tailored to what the end user wants to do.
Sometimes we have meetings, we're in the other room and we have the door closed. Now, if our front door was open, anybody could come in and whatnot. We wouldn't know it because we wouldn't hear it. But now we can keep the door locked and only the people that are supposed to be here have the fob and they can get themselves in. So it's much, much more secure. I mean, it's simple, it's easy, you know, and I love it.
I'm not a big tech person, but from the time we started using the system, it was extremely easy for me to pick up and for the rest of the guys. So the ease of use was important. A lot of times someone either lock themselves out or forget their phone, forget their fob. So being able to do this from our phones, we're able to open and close every door in this building, which was fantastic. I would definitely recommend PDK to any other department.
It makes a huge difference to actually feel like you're safe. You don't have to worry about things. Now, I hope everybody gets one of these because it really does make a big difference.
Let's take a look at the brand new geofencing feature in PDK.io. Geofencing adds location awareness to the mobile button credential experience. By defining a virtual boundary around a property, administrators can control when mobile credentials become active based on a user's proximity to the site. This allows mobile credentials to function only when the user is within a configured distance of the property. Let's take a closer look at how this works. First and foremost, integrators need to set an address for a system within system settings, for systems with a singular cloud node, or in cloud node configuration for systems with multiple head-end units. Once you've input a location, you can hop into setting up an access rule at the people or group level. This is a highly flexible tool, allowing you to have multiple group rules with different geographic restrictions based on the site needs per group or person. When you select mobile button as your credential type, a geofencing menu will expand, where you can enable or disable the geofencing feature. Once enabled, you can set your desired distance for the geofence with a minimum of 100 meters and a maximum of 5 miles. In the PDK Access app, users will see convenient indicators showing the geofence status for their devices. These indicators communicate whether the user is within range of the geofence, outside of the geofence, unable to determine location because location services are disabled. This gives users clear feedback about when their mobile credential will be available for use. The geofencing feature enhances security, reduces the risk of credential misuse, and modernizes the mobile access experience through policy-driven enforcement within PDK.io. Head over to PDK.io to set up your geofences today.
Hello and welcome to the Product Discovery Series. My name is Cole Nebaker, and in this video we are going to be discussing the technologies, features, and capabilities of the new PDK Red Hub. Let's dive into it. The PDK Red Hub is a new device that allows communication between PDK.io and PDK's new Red wireless locks. This hub is necessary to communicate with and control each of these locks. Let's start with the technology. Each hub communicates with the cloud node using Ethernet, either being powered via PoE or 12 to 24 volts DC. Once powered and communicating on the local network, the hub produces a BLE signal known as HubNet. HubNet will communicate directly with each PDK Red wireless lock up to 16 per hub at an average distance of 100 feet. Red locks will communicate with the closest and most readily available hub, meaning that you can install as many of these hubs as is necessary to provide a cohesive and reliable wireless network. The Red hub is small and diverse, meaning that it can be mounted in a variety of locations on a variety of surfaces. Lights on the hub will communicate crucial details about the current status of the hub's communication and availability. More advanced details can be found in the System Health tab of PDK.io. Furthermore, the hub will automatically discover PDK.io and coordinate the discovery of all nearby Red wireless locks via the same automated process, making the installation and programming of each component as seamless as possible. Each hub has an optional antenna that can be installed to alter the directionality of the radio signals, providing convenience and malleability regardless of the application. Designed to be scalable and easy to use, this Red hub is the ultimate tool for taking your wireless lock set installation to the next level. Install your wireless lock sets the easy way with PDK. Hello and welcome to the Product Discovery Series. My name is Cole Nebeker, and we will be exploring the exciting design of the new PDK Red Deadbolt lock. Let's take a look. The PDK Red Deadbolt lock is a battery-powered, wirelessly communicating, real-time lock with a deadbolt latch. Each deadbolt will feature a Schlage keyway, a zinc housing, and a surface prepared for a variety of possible technologies with credential presentation. Each lock's hardware is ANSI Grade 2, IP65 on the exterior, UL certified, and ADA compliant. Additionally, the deadbolt is rated for 150,000 cycles. Red locks will communicate to any PDK Red hub that is closest and most readily available, with up to 16 locks per hub. Using a BLE wireless communication called HubNet, these locks are online locks. This means that whether you push out changes to card holders, send out an open command, set a new schedule, or pull an audit of the activity on the lock, everything will be reflected in real time, all the time. The deadbolt will utilize 4 AA batteries to control the electronics inside of it. Not only does the lock act as a reader, but it also acts as the controller. Each PDK Red lock retains controller continuity for its door during temporary lapses in communication, meaning that it will always be accessible. With an average battery life of 12 months, you can have additional confidence that the lock will always be ready when you are. Similar to other PDK Red devices, each lock will discover automatically after both the lock and the Red hub have been powered up. Programming is similar to that of a standard door, making programming and configuration simple and intuitive. Reader technologies on board each deadbolt will mirror other PDK formats that you already know and utilize, including Prox, Red Smart Card, Bluetooth, mobile, and even PIN. System events and system health allow you to monitor the real-time statuses of each of your locks as well, providing you with insights to battery percentage, signal strength, diagnostics, latch jams, and so much more. Using push notifications, these insights can be sent to managers or maintenance staff on site to remain proactive and prepared. So, regardless of how many doors, what kind of credential technology is being used, or what type of environment is present, install the new wireless Red Deadbolt lock the easy way with PDK.
Let's take a look at the brand new Red Reader V2 from PDK. The PDK Red Reader V2 is a new and improved take on the traditional Red Reader by ProdataKey. It features faster processing capabilities, improved reading functionality, an easier to install body and sturdy chassis, and compatibility with all varieties of PDK credentials. This includes high security, Prox, Bluetooth, PIN, and mobile credentials. The Red Reader V2 comes in 4 form factors: mullion, mullion with keypad, single gang, and single gang with keypad. Each design is sleek and modern, appropriate for installation in a wide variety of environments and verticals. The Red Reader V2 supports the same weatherproofing as its predecessors, meaning that they are outdoor rated at IP65 and tolerant of extreme temperatures, from as cold as -31 Fahrenheit to a blazing 150 degrees Fahrenheit. As with all high security readers, the Red Reader V2 supports OSDP communications for secure encrypted communication between the reader and controller. This also means that the controller can communicate with the reader, pushing out important firmware updates as necessary. Elevate your reader functionality and feature set with the new Red Reader V2 by PDK. Order your Red Reader V2 today from your preferred distribution partner to get started.
Welcome to another Access Control coaching session. My name is Cole Nebeker. I am the Training and Event Manager for PDK, and today we are going to be talking about streamlining MDU installations. There we go. Say that 10 times fast. We are going to be going over the MDU vertical and best practices for installation, how to pick equipment, and how to meet the needs of all of the property managers and tenants themselves. Now, as usual, we are on our 30-second delay from the time that I am speaking right now to the time that you are receiving this. There is a comments bar on the side of your video. If you have any questions, the nice format about these live coaching sessions is that you are able to ask those questions in real time and get real-time answers. So be sure to leave your questions as soon as you have them. Otherwise, once we reach the end of the video and we have that dedicated time, if you don't get them out soon enough, I might miss them on that buffer. Now, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. We have these videos once a month on the first Tuesday of every month. Now, unfortunately, I will not be here for the next coaching session, but we will have the excellent Gus be presenting on that particular video. So be here next month on the first Tuesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Did I miss anything? I think we're good. All right, let's jump into it. All right, so MDUs, if you're not familiar with the term MDUs are multi-dwelling units. And that can include actually kind of a wide range of different different living spaces. That can be apartments, condos, duplexes, senior living facilities, things of that nature, right? Where you have multiple people dwelling within the same building in their own separate units. And what kind of makes these unique is that you want to have some of those smart home capabilities. You want to have the premium features that people come to expect from where they're actually living. You want some of that integration, and you also need to have a balance of, hey, this credential works in both the common area and on their apartment door. So that leads into my next part. What do tenants even want? Well, they want a pretty premium experience. They want something that's seamless, easy to use, has high security. Remember, all of their earthly possessions are typically in their house with them. So they want something very auditable, something secure, and probably most importantly, something easy to use, something that doesn't inconvenience them every time they go through the door. Now, we also can't skip over the fact that there's multiple cooks in the kitchen here, so to speak. You have what tenants want, but you also have what property managers want, and they're the ones installing the system and typically maintaining this system.
So what do property managers want? Well, they want some of the same things. There's a lot of overlap you'll find in what tenants and property managers want. The first is going to be premium experiences. Property managers, the items that they use on site and the experiences they provide on site reflect directly on the experience of that apartment complex or that condo unit, whatever the MDU is. Those premium experiences are going to reflect on them. So they also want something auditable and scalable so that they can easily maintenance and audit and scale that system as needed in the cases that they decide to expand in the future, or maybe, as budget allows, install additional access control at additional doors that maybe they just used a standard key and lock at before. And of course, they want something that's a single pane of glass. That's pretty universally the experience anymore, is people want to be able to manage all of their security facilities and all of their security items from a single location. So that single pane of glass is very important. So when you look at those similarities between what property managers and tenants want, you find that the overlap is they want a balance between cost, security, and features. They want something easy to use, something easy to maintain, something that's minimally invasive. You also want to find something that's appropriate for the property, and we'll kind of talk about environmental factors a little bit later in the presentation. But also, I don't want to skip over another group of people that may also be using the property. So those might include delivery drivers or visitors or new tenants. You're going to have a bunch of people that have never been to the property before that also need a quick, secure, and easy way to access the property. And we'll talk about potential solutions that you can use to accommodate these people. So we have access control, right? PDK is going to be your access control solution. This is going to give you the ability to issue and revoke access, create rules, set up low battery notifications, see if a door is propped or if there's an issue or some sort of network communication issue. That's great. We've talked about that ad nauseum on these coaching sessions because that's what we offer. Now, I don't want to say that that's not the most important part of this particular coaching session. Access control is, of course, a very important part of meeting an MDU installation. But I want to talk about other ways that we can integrate additional features into the access control system and how that is going to simplify the management and the tenant experience for these existing access control system, these systems that we already have installed. So for example, many of you have probably been to a property, and if you haven't, maybe you've seen something like this, where you have a video intercom, or just an intercom, where you can buzz and call a specific apartment, and they can either buzz you in or deny you entry. Kind of the more modern approach to this is your video intercoms, and that's where it rings the tenant's cell phone, typically, and they can pull it open. They can see who is there for them, and then they can make the decision of whether to grant them entry or deny them entry. Video intercoms are becoming increasingly popular. It's not always safe to grant somebody access, or in fact, some people, a little known fact about me, I used to drive for UPS, and you know, what I would do is if the tenant that I was there to deliver a package for didn't answer, I would just call somebody else and tell them to let me in. And then I was into the building with no technical approval of the actual tenant themselves. So there's some limitations with just a voice intercom as opposed to a video intercom. So those are becoming increasingly popular. Now, another thing that the property managers are probably using is going to be tenant management. So think something like Yardi or Entrata. These are going to be solutions that allow them to onboard and offboard new tenants. And the ability to integrate that into the access control system can really simplify the amount of work it takes to onboard and offboard. Cameras are, of course, going to be an important safety component. They work really well in conjunction with access control. So having the ability to see actual access events inside the camera log while also seeing a camera snapshot of who actually performed those access events, and having those two simultaneous reports available to you is a huge benefit to a security team on site. Now, with the release of our wireless locks, I'm of course going to talk about the benefits of wireless locks, but there are lots of ways to integrate wireless locks into a PDK system. So I'll kind of walk you through how you integrate PDK's red locks into our system. And then, of course, package delivery systems. So there are some pretty neat solutions out there where you can have a series of lockers, basically, and the delivery drivers, when they come, can deliver a package into a locker, and that provides the tenant with a code that only they are able to unlock their locker, which is pretty neat. So I go through all of this not just to say, hey, like, access control is nothing. It doesn't compare to all the stuff out there. What I mean to say here is consider all of the potential systems that you can have working hand in hand with each other on an MDU application. Now, if you're an installer, you're probably looking at this and you're like, well, I offer this and this and this. If your specialty is MDUs, just consider how many different systems you can integrate together. And going in there to your client, the property manager, the builder, developer, whatever, and saying, hey, listen, I've got an access control system. It's PDK, obviously, because you guys don't install anything except PDK. We've got an access control system with wireless locks, and we are going to go ahead and throw in X, Y, and Z camera system and this video intercom system, and we're going to integrate it with Entrada, and we're going to give you a single pane of glass. You are going to manage everything from here, and it's just going to be super seamless, and you're only going to need one type of credential across the board. Your tenants will have a key fob that will get them through the building, that will get them through their apartment door. They can use a PIN as a backup, and if anything goes wrong, you've got video intercoms and cameras to audit via surveillance what went wrong. So there's a lot of value in offering multiple different solutions combined all together. Now let's focus on the access control component, right? I could ramble on forever about all the different technologies you can put together, but when you're designing a PDK system for MDUs, you're going to typically install two different types of equipment. I'm going to try to explain what I mean here by that. So the first is going to be your more traditional access control components of the building. So think, for example, a clubhouse or the apartment offices or the pool or the gym, you know, somewhere where the whole community is sharing a set of resources. Typically, those are going to be your more traditional setup. Those are going to be a cloud node, a controller, and a reader combined with like a strike or a maglock, right? Those are going to be your more commercial access. You can't see me on the camera. I just did the quotations on my two fingers over here. But those are going to be your more standard access control setups. It's going to have a reader, it's going to have a controller, it's going to use a key fob or a PIN, maybe a mobile credential, and it's going to have the cloud node. And it's all going to combine into that, what most people think of when they think of access control. Then you have the other side of the MDU, you have the individual unit doors. So those individual unit doors are typically not going to be your standard access control. How many times have you visited an apartment, gone up to a tenant's door, and there's been a reader outside the door where they badge their key fob and you hear the loud buzzing of a strike or a maglock releases at the top? Not super common, right? It's not a super common setup for that. And usually that's because they either run the wiring through the door and use like an electrified handle set, or probably most commonly, they use wireless locks. So what those wireless locks allow is for the more traditional homeowner experience, where you don't have this bulky, cumbersome access control setup at the front door. It's just this all-in-one included device. So The example of this would be the red wireless locks, where you're installing either a handle set or a deadbolt onto the door directly, and it's just being powered via batteries. And what's neat about that is it allows you to combine all of those technologies, all of those access control technologies into one single unit. So instead of having a separate strike, a separate reader, a separate controller, separate communications, you're building all of that into one battery-powered device, and it's all just self-contained. It's communicating wirelessly with a hub nearby and controlling access that way. So that allows kind of that more premium experience where A, you're saving a lot on cost, but B, you're also providing the tenant with kind of the experience that they expect on their apartment door. So keep in mind that even though we're focusing on wireless locks installed on MDUs and multifamily, they can meet a lot of different places, including very adjacent installations, such as like healthcare or assisted living, or somewhere where multiple people are staying within the same building, very similar to MDUs. Now, the benefits of using these wireless locks on those individual apartment doors, it kind of comes back to what is this adding value to the property manager and tenant as. I don't know if that made sense. I'm gonna roll it back and just kind of run through this, and hopefully that explains what I'm talking about. So the customer experience is going to be much better with these wireless locks as opposed to running wired locks into each of these doors. And that could be because A, there's, they might need to get new doors, or B, that it might be excessive cost, or C, the construction delay times are going to be whatever. The ability to just throw one of these locks onto the door is going to simplify the installation and lower the cost. It's also going to be very scalable for them. So if they say, hey, I've got 12 apartments right now, I'm going to throw locks on all of those doors. But we're in the pretty early construction phases. We are going to transition to an additional 12 locks here same time next year. That's fine. You throw on the 12 locks now, and then a year down the road, or 2 years with construction delay times, because it's never on time, you throw the additional 12 locks onto the door with an additional hub or two, and it's as seamless as if you just had that from the beginning. It's not a burdensome process. Now, from a security standpoint, this also allows it to be auditable. So the benefits of these wireless locks, the red wireless locks, is that they're real time, which means that anything that happens on that door can be monitored in real time by the property manager, and also importantly, by the tenant. Now, I don't have a dedicated slide here for the Units tab in PDK.io, but to briefly run you through what that is, that's going to be a tab that allows the individual tenant to view audit trails for their door and manage specific facets of their door. So it allows not just the property manager to, it also allows you to, it also allows the end user to manage that to some degree. So auditing is a huge thing. And then of course the battery monitoring is a huge advantage to it. You can send real-time notifications to the maintenance team and have them change out batteries before the end user even knows that there's anything potentially needing changing. So just to recap, this is how wireless locks work, right? We had a coaching session a few months back where Gus talked about the lock sets, and it was phenomenal, and he went through how the lock sets work. So this is really just more of a recap. You're still going to have a cloud node. You're just going to install these hubs as intermediaries, and then you're going to have two kinds of locks currently available, the cylindrical and the deadbolt. And then very soon you're going to have the interconnected lock as well, which by the time you're watching this video may or may not already be out. But that interconnected lock is sometimes necessary for these MDU units in specific states to perform a single action egress. So you've got a lot of flexibility with what you can install and what shapes and sizes and formats, and then of course you can custom order them. I mean, if the apartment complex is going for that bronze finish look, just custom order bronze deadbolts. You can order whatever keyway and cylinder size you want, all sorts of things. So there's a lot of flexibility when you install wireless locks for the access control at a facility. So hopefully with all of that, I come kind of full circle here back to how you're going to design a system for an MDU facility. So you're still going to have the standard access control stuff, right? You're still going to have cloud nodes, controllers, readers, and credentials. That stuff doesn't change. And especially those are going to be installed in some of the more common areas. The benefit of installing wireless locks and hubs is that you can share those credentials across the board. So instead of having two separate access control systems, maybe you have one traditional access control system and a separate wireless lock set system, and you have to manage those credentials and that programming separately. You can instead just combine them. You can make it all the same credential type, you can make it the same frequencies, the same methods of entry, and that's strangely still kind of a unique experience across the board. Because what you oftentimes run into is with your standard access control equipment, let's just say you install a cloud node controllers and red readers, those frequencies and those technologies historically have been more locked to those specific readers, and they don't really translate well to the wireless locks and hubs. So when you have that system and you have one that's keypad only, you're obviously going to have a key fob for one and a keypad for another one, and it's just going to be kind of this discrepancy between the two systems. So combining them all together gives you a more premium end user experience. Then, when you take additional integrations, you can create an even more intuitive and kind of all-in-one experience. You can add video intercoms to the front entryway of the building. Let people in based off of whether they can see you. Video surveillance for some of those audit trails and the ability to see what happened and who did it and why. The video surveillance gives you a lot of peace of mind and security. Multi-tenant residential systems, whether that be from the property manager side of Yardi and Entrada, or whether that be from integrating all of your ecosystem together, you've got a lot of integration options there. Intrusion detection, if you're going to add alarm panels to the individual units themselves, or maybe some sort of automation. I used to live at this apartment complex where it had golf simulators. It was really bougie. I don't know why I lived there really. I never golf, but they had golf simulators, and they didn't really have a reservation system, so it was just kind of show up and see if it's available, and if it wasn't, well, shoot, you're out of luck. So you can't really invite friends and family to that, right? Because you're just like, I don't know if it's available. I don't want to walk down and find out. You can integrate automation and booking and reservation systems into your PDK access control system. And then if you put that behind lock and key, you can say, okay, each tenant is going to have to reserve a time for that golfing simulator, and only during their time will they be able to access the room that it's held in. So there's a lot of really neat things you can do. And really all of this is just to say, you can create a full system from start to finish. You can create a full access control, video surveillance, multi-tenant residential, intrusion detection, automation, booking, and reservation system, all in one. And you can make it super seamless. It's all about picking which access control system you're going to use, which wireless locks you're going to use, what cameras you're going to use, what intercoms you're going to use, and providing that as one bulk package to your customer. Again, customers, what they really want is that one-stop shop. They want to be able to go to one person who's going to do it all, who can say, hey, here's what I'm going to offer across the board. It's all integrated together and all managed as one system. All right, now some specific considerations for your apartment doors. First is going to be keying. All right, so as I mentioned, you can custom order these keys, not these keys, these lock sets in unique keyways and cylinders, and finishes for that matter. When you're doing an apartment complex, you're probably not going to want to just go to distribution and pick up the first available wireless locks on the shelf. Those are good if you're in a pinch, and especially if you're just doing 1 or 2 doors. But if you need to match keys, what probably makes sense is to key the apartments in such a way that you have a master key to all of them. Additionally, you're probably going to want to match the door handle and the finishes and the characteristics of the lock to look identical to all of the other doors. So just keep that in mind. You may need to custom order some of this stuff in order to meet some of the specs of the MDU environment. Now, additionally, your credential types. Now, all of the locks that come from distribution are going to have the exact same credential capabilities. They're going to have prox, PIN, smart card, Bluetooth, and mobile. So if you are just looking for those 5 credential types, great. You just go in, you buy one, you're good to go. If you want to restrict the credential technologies that the tenant is going to be able to use, you can custom order the locks. Let's say that you want no pins across the board, right? When tenants come to their door, you don't want them to have a pin that they can easily just share between different users. Well, you can get a smart lock without a pin pad. And that way, you still have some of the same credential technologies available to you. You still have the red credentials, the Bluetooth, the mobile. They can tap to open, they can present their phone, they can present their key fob, and that's great, but they aren't able to use a pin pad. So it's also going to just kind of depend on how you or the property manager decides to move forward in that regard. Neighborhood safety, of course, is a big consideration. I know there's a big push to move to smart cards or mobile credentials because they're non-duplicatable, and I think that's a great plan. But consider whether you even need a red wireless lock with prox capabilities if you are never going to use prox. Does it just make more sense to get a lock that only supports smart card and Bluetooth? It's kind of at your discretion. And then, of course, for the planned maintenance side of things, just consider the average battery life of the lock. So your average is going to be about 1 year. You may find that if you have a hub especially far away from a lock, that goes down a little bit, or maybe you have one really close to a hub, it goes up a bit. That's your average, your 1 year battery life. But always set up a push notification, either for yourself or the end user, that gives them some of the flexibility to go and proactively change some of those batteries when they indicate that they are low. So for those alerts, you can do a lot of things. That battery status is one. You can also do unknown credentials. Now, I'll tell you another thing I did, and I'm not proud of this. I've asked for forgiveness. I haven't asked for forgiveness from the apartment complex. But when I lived at that same apartment complex, there was a system to get into the pool. There was an access control system to get into the pool. And wouldn't you know it, I was in the industry. I knew a lot about access control, and they gave us all prox cards. Well, I kind of feel like it's on them, to be honest. I duplicated that credential. I gave it to all my family and friends. I was just like, hey, this is a free access pool. You can come in whenever you want. But you can navigate around some of these changes by setting up credential notifications. So I tell you that story basically just to say, try to be on top of it. First of all, don't use prox cards. And second of all, use those push notifications to be notified of any potentially nefarious activities going on at your site. And that's probably a good excuse to use an access control system combined with a video surveillance system to see if the people match up with the credential swipes. So set up notifications for unknown credentials, access denied, comm loss, unstable connections, door propped, you name it. There's a lot of very valuable notifications that you can set up just dependent on what you're going to be using at the particular facility. Okay, so that is the bulk of the presentation here. I haven't seen any questions come through yet, so I'm going to stall for a second while I wait for people to ask their questions. Remember, I'm on that 30-second delay, so start typing right now. If you have questions, get at it. I don't know what to stall with.
Mike Burmer says, "Good morning, everyone."
Mike, it's always good to see a friendly face. Not really speaking because you're on the internet. Cole, can I get a prox card to your pool? I'm afraid I no longer live at that apartment facility. So, no, you cannot. But if you find somebody who lives there, you can definitely go and duplicate their card, assuming they haven't transitioned over to smart cards. I don't know. I don't know what they've done. Sorry, Tyler. So MDUs are an especially quickly growing vertical right now. And maybe that's just the side of me living in Utah where apartments are popping up like spring flowers everywhere. But I think that's pretty universal across the board. The housing market in the U.S. is booming, absolutely booming, and the amount of people moving in are more than can be kept up with buildings. So this is a very profitable, if you're an integrator, this is a very profitable industry to be in. Providing that access control. And if you can figure out a way to take PDK and integrate it with all of the components that the property manager needs, that's why we came out with the wireless lock sets, is to allow you to be competitive in this market and allow you to go in and say, hey, I've got a solution that is going to fix all of your problems, all of your worries. So just know that you're in a good spot, and this is a good industry to be in right now, offering access control to those MDU markets. Okay, so are there other marketing materials that can help sell MDUs? And the answer is yes. We have some case studies and articles written on this. So I believe the URL is ProdataKey.com/blogs. Does that sound right, Keith? That sounds right to me. Otherwise, just go to ProdataKey.com and click the links at the top till you get to blogs. We've written several case studies on this specific vertical, integrated with different solutions and kind of all taking different approaches. There's a lot of materials that you can provide to the end user to help them in their decision. Then I've got which video intercom integrates seamlessly with PDK access, and actually there's a few. So what I would say, well, let's see if I can rattle them all off. I'm sorry if I miss any. We've got My Door View, we've got Doorvy, we've got Invictus, and I don't know if this other one's released, so I won't say it. There's another one that's kind of up in the air. Actually, I think I've seen it on beta.pdk.io, so I think I can talk about it. It's a phone. So you've got options when it comes to video intercoms, whether or not they're probably all in varying degrees of features and capabilities, but you can look at any one of those, and you can also reach out to the sales team. They may know better than myself who is currently available and what, especially if you're looking for specific bells and whistles, specific features or intercom types. You can reach out to the sales team. It's sales@ProdataKey.com or 801-317-8802 and their extension 1, and they can probably direct you a little bit better than I can. Okay, I don't see any other questions coming through. So we're going to wrap up this coaching session. Again, we're going to have another one next month. It's going to be awesome from what I've heard. So be here on whatever the first Tuesday in August is. I don't even know what it is. It's like the 5th. I think it's the 5th, maybe the 4th. It's the 4th. I think it's the 4th. And Gus will give you an excellent coaching session then. Oh, we got another question. This is perfect. Perfect timing. I took the PDK course, got a certified partner certificate. Was that correct? I would have thought I would get a technician certification. What's the difference? So if I understand correctly, so you got the certificate that indicates you took the technical certification. One technician certifies the entire company. So that's why you got the certified partner, because they're two in the same. When you take the certification course, you certify your company. And the same applies to other people. You can have other people within your company take that exact same course and they will also get that certified partner certificate. It's just to indicate that you individually are a partner. So you are a certified partner now. So you've certified your company. Congratulations. So that's how it works. You just have one or multiple people certify themselves under the technical certification, and that certifies the company. Good question. All right. Well, thank you for jumping in, and I will catch you at the next one.